I mean, it was too big of an important. He was too big to ignore. I know we don't usually talk about pop culture stuff, but I mean, Ozzy was there. The band formed. Black Sabbath started in 1968. It was always the soundtrack of every time you listen to FM radio. There's Black Sabbath songs. Ozzy was the lead singer. You just can't escape his passing. It's like, I mean, it's actually it's got me saddened because I usually don't mean when a celebrity dies, but I do feel saddened at this death. I really do. I mean, he was a legend. He was an oddball. He was outrageous. And he did a lot of crazy things, but people were seem to forgive that, and have forgiven that. You guys have any recollections about Ozzy yourself or anything or what?
I used to love the show where he's like sharing. I love that. That was my favorite part. When he had his own show,
The reality
the
show, yeah.
Osborne show. I did like that. I don't know. A friend of mine and I were talking about it yesterday. Somebody had sent me a meme yesterday. It showed him up in heaven, and he had yeah, had some in his hand, like or in his hand, and showed Jesus standing beside him. Like, no, he's getting ready to bite his head. I don't know. And someone said, so I don't know. Ozzy's look. I mean, I hate to say this, but Ozzy's looked like he was 100 years old for the longest time. I always thought he was like, but he's 76 years old.
Right.
He looked so much older than 76 years old. He really did. He looked really haggard, and so
But,
he lived a full life.
a lot of his problem was prescription medication.
Yeah, prescription drugs and
the doctors were giving him.
Yeah,
it's like, well, that's what did Elvis. And I mean, Elvis wasn't a recreational drug user, in my knowledge.
No.
He would have been gassed at that. He was doing anything by doctor's orders, and it killed him. He got into it, and the doctor didn't say, I think I went too far with this. We got to address this. No, he just kept on feeding more pills, like Michael Jackson.
That's what they do. They feed you. They
and Prince.
Prince, yeah. I mean, Prince had been in the '80s. He was known to, eschew alcohol. He was very anti-drug and stuff. And they didn't have cocaine parties and stuff like that. It was prevalent in the '80s. He was against that, and he died of fentanyl. I mean, the stuff it's like they created this monster. I mean, fentanyl and oxycontin, oxycodone. I mean, these monsters. I mean, all for profit.
Right.
That's all it's for. I mean, the morphine was bad enough it is, and opiates and stuff. Real opiates were bad enough. Now they had to add to it 8 times more, intensely, stronger than heroin or opiums and stuff. These are synthetics. It's like, but I mean, it's amazing that Ozzy lived as long as he did. I mean, it's all the drugs
they did to him, what they did to him and stuff like that. But
And we don't claim to be experts. We're just going off of what we've read
right
and heard on the internet.
But it's like, he was forgiven all like the incident back in the late 70s, early 80s where he urinated at the Alamo and stuff like that. I mean, I remember it, but I didn't hold it against Ozzy. That was Ozzy. I mean, let's face it, that building had been around for hundreds of years.
Somebody pissed on it before. First, it probably won't be the last.
Right. That's why I looked at it even back then. I didn't get outraged. I just thought, oh man, he was really out of his mind when he did it.
But back then, if you did something like that, nobody had, oh my God. No, he
wasn't. Well, actually, they did.
He wasn't outraged.
Told him not to come back to Texas.
Well, I know, but I mean, that's all they would tell you. I mean, you didn't get like, oh my God. I mean, the whole world didn't run them all, and the whole world didn't cancel.
And it was a publicity stunt.
Right. Yeah, it's like, and that's another thing. Back then, I mean, we rolled with. We had more things going on. We get, like you said, this cancel culture and these woke people. That's all their existence is about, Right. And that's the rest of us had lives to live. We actually had jobs and concerns, and even back then, I was going to college and I was like working and stuff like that. Okay, I heard about it. I was pissed with it, and I moved on. Yeah, I moved on. I mean, now this wasn't my sin or my being,
Back then, it was like a 15 minutes of fame.
Right, exactly.
Say that you get your 15 minutes of fame and move on.
Right.
Now it's like
2 minutes.
Years, right? Now it's like 2 seconds.
It depends on who does what. And basically, one group can do stuff and nobody mentions it. Somebody just slips up and they're vilified and demonized forever on it. Right. It's just ridiculous. But I mean, it just goes to show you that our culture, our society is very forgiving, because a lot of people, I knew a lot of veterans were like outraged at him urinating at the Alamo back then, or biting the head off of a bat, that stuff was outrageous behavior. I mean,
I thought it was funny. I didn't think.
I didn't get offended with him biting a bat or anything like that. I just thought,
no, he lived that. I mean, he made that part of his persona.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got videos with blood coming down his face.
He was the Prince of Darkness. I mean, but I mean, I can't let it go that easy, because I mean, I seen that his passing actually did impact me. I felt saddened.
He's part of America, even though he's a foreigner.
Yeah, it's like the thing is he had enough he was the outsider enough. He learned to appreciate the United States. I mean, him and his son did a travel show together.
Right.
You saw that where they traveled and looked at the historical parts of the United States and places, and they did a great job. I think it was really educational for Americans as well as
Right.
Europeans. And it was, and they still had some reverence for this country and stuff. Some, Jack's part, his son Jack's part American because his, Sharon
He's part
Osborne,
American.
she's definitely an American citizen. So, but I mean, yeah, I feel
Are
like,
you sure?
yeah, I'm pretty sure she is. Yeah, I mean, she might have dual citizenship with. She was born in the United States. I'm pretty certain of it. Yeah, she's got the accent.
And she got that accent from just hanging
Austin.
out.
Well, look at Tina Turner. She had a West Indies accent, and she was born in like down south somewhere in the United States. So, Madonna the same way. Madonna's got an
Madonna's born in
accent.
Bay City.
Yeah, Bay City, and she's got an accent.
That's a fake one.
Yeah, it's like it's an affectation. It's like I remember one actor one time somebody said you got a fake accent. He goes, no, it's affected, and he made a distinction. It was a guy who played Dr. Smith on Lost in Space. Yeah.
But someone told me the other day, they're like, or yesterday, they're like, Ozzy bit at that and then bit it, bit that, bit the dirt, that's
Yeah.
about it, finally bit the dirt. So,
But
Ozzy
he claimed that doing that, he thought it was something that somebody threw at him, that it was fake.
he thought it was fake.
He thought it was a fake bat.
He thought it was a fake bat, and I mean, he would have done anything. I mean, he did some geek stuff. I mean, like the stuff the geeks used to do in the sideshows. I mean, he did some pretty disgusting stuff. It's like like close to eating somebody's Band-Aid, stuff like that, kind of gross stuff. He would do some stuff like I don't want to go into it. I mean, I just heard a story a few
But he
months
made,
ago about him.
you know what but he did make his show entertaining.
Very entertaining. I mean,
And people would go to the show because they wanted to see what he's going to do next. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And they liked it, and everybody. I remember in the '80s, we all went to the show just to see what Ozzy has. Every show's different.
Did he ever come to Sherwood?
I don't think so. I don't think I ever heard him connected to that. I mean, there was probably other bands that connected to Black Sabbath had.
Almost everybody else
had
did
been.
from
Oh
that
yeah.
era.
And I never heard these stories about it. I mean, I was pretty young at the time, and I was intermittent about who I heard about. I
Tell
did hear.
people what Sherwood is.
Yeah, Sherwood Forest was a kind of basically a park out in the Davison area, and somebody started doing shows there, rock shows, and become legendary. You never knew who was going to be there. Ted
The Who
Nugent
was there.
Who was there. Another thing about the Who, people don't realize that when we had a guy named Peter C. Cavanaugh, he actually was from Syracuse, New York, but he became a DJ here in the Flint area. He was a big Who fan, and he actually promoted them heavily in this
Right.
area. And actually, the Keith Moon, the drummer, he was celebrating his birthday when he was here in the Flint area, and he was at the Holiday Inn, and this is where he drove his car into the swimming pool at the Holiday Inn here over on Bristol Road.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like they're banned for like ever from the Holiday Inns
Most people
around the
wouldn't
world.
believe that the Flint, Michigan area has that kind of history.
Yeah, I mean it's like well, there's a woman too that who had been I knew in college. She actually had been married to an Englishman, and he was actually good friends with the Townsend family, Pete Townsend of the
Right.
Who, and so she was her first husband was from England, and so she had all this knowledge and information. She had met Pete Townsend and stuff, and that band is legendary because it's still viable, and they still produce great music, but they're getting. I mean, they're like they're in their 80s. I think
Right.
Roger Daltrey is probably close to 80. I mean, 76, 77.
There's a
so-
time when you gotta stop singing.
right?
But
But I mean,
stop time when you gotta stop being a politician too.
Yeah, but when you turn on the radio, what do you hear?
yeah,
Pop
You
music.
hear music from the 70s and the 80s on any radio station that has any listeners.
right.
Right.
It's like my niece and I, when she passed away a few years ago, but before she died, obviously, where she was always saying I was saying something about the trash music at this era, and she goes,
Right.
"We got good music with this band." Oh, wait a minute, that's from the 70s, and this band, well, they started in the 70s too. Then she said, "Gee, Diet, you're right. All the good bands started before this era." And she goes,
Well, the only it's just country music that has innovation and new artists all the time.
"Right."
Right.
That,
There's no
that,
rock has
that
that.
have a national interest is what I'm saying.
Now, do you consider like a hip hop and rap, rock? I don't consider it rock.
Rap is nothing. Rap is just crap.
It's like
That's
you,
basically-
It depends, right? Come on.
there's some stuff. I mean, I've met some rappers that came
You
into the
didn't like
studio.
Vanilla Ice?
not really.
No,
No,
That's-
come on, man. I know you
MC
danced
Hammer.
to that.
MC
And I
Hammer.
know, come on. There's some rap
MC
music
Hammer,
that you listened
no,
to when you were younger.
Okay, yeah, but lately the rap.
No, not
nowadays-
the new stuff.
Yeah, the new stuff is
no, that's the newer stuff. But I mean,
But
I
no,
told
it's
Julie
the
when-
same thing. It's the older stuff that people
Right.
listen to.
well,
I bought a purple hat for this wedding we gotta go to. There's like lilac hat that goes along with the suit that we
Yeah.
bought, right? And I said, you know what, I want to come in one day and do, you know, you always tell me I should do a rant, you know, how you do rants once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, one day I want to do a rap, you know, just
Mhm.
I just do a rap just like everyone, because basically all it is all you talk and cuss.
No, it's
That's it.
not.
It takes
Those people are intelligent.
it,
They
You
can
sound-
actually no think about what they're remembering. They're remembering all these songs and all these words
It's
and
basic-
put them in the same format every time when they do it. That's not easy.
it's pretty easy.
It's-
That's
No, it's not.
so I used to denigrate rap too until I started meeting up with people who are from the Michigan and Indiana area, and they started coming here, and I started meeting with the people, and they have a work ethic that I was really amazed by. I mean, they were producing
had
going
I
after
gotta
show
meet
after
them
show,
then.
huh?
I gotta meet them then, because honestly,
Yeah.
what I hear on radio, it's like, dude, that's pretty easy. All I gotta remember is hoe, white, slut.
Well, even as much as I don't like
Oh.
Eminem, he is very. I mean, he's very intelligent. As much as I don't like the man, I don't like his opinions. He's very intelligent. Another person who I like too is was we had, like I said, we met up with a lot of them.
A lot of rappers come
Just,
through
you know,
here when it's for Studio 1714.
and they were like they had I love what I loved about the fact that they really had this ambition in this Britt Manson. I mean, he was like a
Yeah,
person, average person, wanted to make the big time, didn't obviously, but I mean, he was
Well,
so
he
much
did
dedicated.
well.
He did well though. He did well. And there's like one group came in here. They actually had a part of a production group. They actually had 3 different groups going on stage that night or that weekend in 3 different states.
Good.
So that's really amazing dedication and orchestration.
I would, but here's the deal. I would love rap better if you didn't degrade women.
But you can't denigrate all rap because there's shitty rappers.
All right, there's
Okay.
is-
You're right. You're absolutely right. But how? Give me tell me the percentage that you actually think doesn't degrade women. Because
Well,
actually, half the time, and I'm sorry,
I don't know because I don't listen to that type of music.
but I
I
mean,
don't either. But every time I ever hear a rap song, it's all freaking
Was-
degrading.
it's like
Vanilla Ice didn't do it.
No, Vanilla Ice neither did.
MC Hammer
MC
didn't
Hammer
do
know
it.
I mean,
No, the old stuff didn't do it. The new stuff, all it is degrading.
would you ever remember the Rapture, the song by Blondie at the very end of there? They
Wait,
had a
she
rap.
rapped?
She rapped
yeah.
on that at the end of that.
Okay. Let me then go back to this viewpoint so I can actually get this viewpoint. New rap. All right, new rap is crap. Old rap is good.
So I have a
Our
tendency.
generation
see-
rap, I can actually go with. I liked it. I did have MC Hammers and I did have Vanilla Ice CDs. Okay, I did like those.
See,
Bobby Brown, I like those. Okay,
Yeah.
no, but get to the new rap where
But how often
Bobby
do you
Brown.
even hear new rap? There's no new rap on the radio.
I mean, yeah. From what I hear, I mean, let's face it. What
I was
happened?
up. Well, actually, I was up at Gun Lake about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and they had this DJ that was playing this rap music. And I swear to God, I looked over and Julie, I think I offended somebody over on the table from us. I'm like, if somebody actually, if the mother of this guy playing this, who was this rapper, was actually heard half the stuff, she would probably walk up and slap him halfway through the song. Honestly, of what he was sitting there saying in the white slut.
But that's the thing; they don't last long, right? They're like a flash in the
Yeah.
pan.
Yeah, the ones I'm thinking about, like Ice Cube, and he's now big more known for his role on Law and Order and
Law and
stuff.
Order.
But I mean, if you ever listen to his stuff and
And 50 Cent.
yeah, 50 Cent, those
Well,
guys
I
are.
know you didn't listen to NW.
No, I listened. I heard it. I wasn't say I had to listen to when somebody
I'm
showed
sure
it to you.
that you wouldn't appreciate Cop
No.
Killer.
No. Well, actually, he's not a cop killer, but no, I
Well,
want reform. But
Let's say no.
no, yeah, but no, I just
You
think
may
that.
have liked it probably more than I did.
But I know so I like I said, I have a tendency. I like bands that actually. I know people who've been in bands, and I can identify with them. They come up, they get up in the middle of the afternoonish, then because they party so much and they play the guitar, they're half
But
drugged
this is
out.
the
Yeah.
same thing. They
That's it.
always go back to the old stuff,
Right,
Like
right.
ICP,
Yeah,
MC Hammer, Ice Cube, Ice T, NWA,
They all go back to
Dr.
their old-
Dre,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, what is he? He's like in his 60s by now.
well,
Yeah.
probably
And
50.
still going.
Yeah, he's still, and he's.
Him and Martha are great.
Yeah, that's such a weird pairing too. But there's the Snoop really enjoys entertaining at home, and I always thought it was kind of
And he's a
mix at first.
coach. He
Huh?
coaches his kids' football teams. He does everything. What he does on the outside, he is awesome.
But what I'm saying is everything is old. when you go back to it, the stuff that people really like listening to
Right.
Right.
is like old rock and roll, old rap.
Yeah.
It's like
There's nothing new. They
No one's ever came up with anything new.
well, just like storylines and for movies, they got to go back and rehash the redos. They have to the reboots or whatever. I mean, that's
And
like
the reboots are not even good.
no,
No.
no. The only one actually I saw that actually I saw the original. And this was years ago. The original Sabrina. Okay, the original was made with like man in the 40s or something like that in the
Right.
50s, and the other
And they
one was
brought
made in the
about
90s.
Harrison Ford.
The one with Harrison
Brought-
Ford and Greg Kinnear. The newer one with
better.
Julia Armand and Harrison Ford, and
That
that
was
was
good.
actually better than
Right.
the original. I mean, that was better. It was my
Right.
mom saw both, and she remembers both, and she goes, "I got to say this one's better."
Right.
Because they had a father in the first one. That was kind of a comic thing, a comic relief thing. But it was kind of lame. He was not in the newer
Right.
one, and it was Nancy Marchand played the matriarch, the
Right.
father, or the mother. She did a great job. That the second Sabrina was much better than the first one. But it's a rarity to have the new one. They remade what is it? Point Break.
Yeah.
They did a re-release of that. I don't. Why would you make a remake of something that only came out
I
in the late
know,
1990s?
it'd
They
be
did release
hard to
a-
make a remake that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and I tried to watch it, and I went, "This is crap." I mean, it was more high tech, and it was more high energy. But the storyline of Point Break, I love the whole Point Break.
Yeah.
Love that movie. That was one of my favorite movies. And I mean, but they can't. Can't see them making it. And they did fell flat. And Roadhouse, they did a remake on Roadhouse.
That fell flat.
I mean, you had to watch it as it wasn't.
Right.
It really, I guess the premise that was it.
Yeah.
It really had nothing to do with the original
Yeah.
Roadhouse, other than it was a roadhouse that
Right.
needed to be fixed.
Right. Just so
But it was pretty good.
It was pretty. You liked
Yeah,
it? You liked it?
the action
Well,
scenes.
they
and
came out
stuff.
with Red Dawn. They redid Red Dawn. The
Yeah,
one.
and how could you? That is like a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
when
it sucked. The
Yeah,
second one sucked.
Well, I remember years ago when I used to love the TV series Wild Wild West. Well, then Will Smith and what was it Klein
Kevin Kline.
Kevin Kline, did that movie. I knew it was going to blow. I mean, it blew. And one of my friends, she, well, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see it. And I asked her later. She goes, "You're right about that. It sucked." And even Will Smith
Well, think
regrets
about
making
it.
it.
You couldn't make it was like trying to do something from the 60s well, I guess that was the
Yeah.
90s
Yeah,
Nice.
90s. Yeah, it was in the late 90s,
without really changing the format.
right.
And no.
It fell flat. I mean, Will Smith expressed so much regret in being in that movie. I mean, he makes jokes about it himself. So, I mean,
Well, they're coming out with a Naked Gun again.
That's
This time with
gonna
Liam
be
Neeson.
funny.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's going to be in it. so
And
that
it's
one's
because
gonna
each one of them's like saying thank you, Dad.
and,
be-
And then OJ.
would you ever see? I mean, I
that
love
would be funny. I gotta see that. That would
see the movie. I thought it was great because I watched the TV series when I was a kid, Dragnet, and the movie Dragnet in the 80s. I mean, they had a cameo appearance made by a guy who played Joe, not Joe, but Bill.
Right.
It was a Harry Morgan's character. That was a great one, even though it was totally different. It was a comedy, and the other one was more of like a documentary of actual
Right.
TV events and the LAPD files. I love the movie because I just
But
thought-
it was Dan Aykroyd, right?
Dan Aykroyd.
He did a great.
Oh yeah, Joe Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dead on. I mean, it was perfect. He played. He
He
was.
played the perfect straight man
Yeah,
in
he-
that movie.
Yeah, I just love that. I mean, I thought there was, and I like the fact that they had a nod there when they brought in, Harry Morgan. He played his reprise.
Right.
He didn't reprise his role. He was actually their captain in this one, but he made a cameo appearance. That was really cool. I go back to
Well,
that one.
They
But
just redid Superman.
yeah.
again. I don't know if you've watched that one. Yet.
No, so I've seen what I hate about this. They've done so many reboots and redirections of Superman and Batman. Yeah, I can't follow them anymore. I don't care about them anymore. I like the original, line of it, and I thought there was. I was happy with Michael Keaton being Batman. I'm like Christian Slater. I think he just played too angry, but it was more realistic. But he was too angry. I mean, and stuff. But I mean, no, I just. Val Kilmer did a decent job, but I just like they rebooted it so much and they kind of slightly recast it every time they do it. It misses the mark, and I just wish it'd go back to one storyline with some, but obviously those actors are too old now, and I can't see Michael Keaton play,
Actually, Michael Keaton did play Batman.
Yeah, I did.
As an older Batman.
Yeah.
An older Batman in The Flash.
Oh, The Flash?
Yeah,
Okay.
he came out with that one. And he really did play a good Batman in that one.
Okay, so I didn't see that one, but
But the thing is that so they rated. They came out with a ranking of all these different Batman or all these Supermans, right? Of Dean Cain all the
Yeah.
way to all the eights. And they put Dean Cain at the end. And I was sitting there looking at my daughter and I was going through these rankings with her. I'm like, how the heck did Dean Cain get as the end? So I thought he was pretty good. He was out there playing Superman the longest.
Right.
This new guy, I mean, he was okay, but he wasn't as good as Henry Cavill. And he beat out the Henry Cavill for number 2. Christopher Reeve still holds out number 1. And I was never really a big fan of Christopher Reeve of the original Superman. I never was. I just didn't feel like he was a real Superman image. I liked Henry Cavill and I liked Dean Cain as a Superman. I don't know about you guys, but
No,
those are my 2.
So I've heard a good of it. I've got the new Superman. I've also heard some trashing of it. So I don't know. I mean, I'll wait till it comes out on we're a streaming
Right.
service. And I'll pay for it and watch it there. But no, I like I said, the remakes and stuff. And when I was looking up stuff too today, the title brings up about the Oasis Union with that band for Oasis. I guess they were formed in Manchester, in 1990, 91 or something like that. And they broke apart. And it was basically two brothers who were always at each other's throats, and they broke up in 2009. And now they're doing a reunion. And I don't know much about the band. Did you ever?
I've never heard about Oasis. No, never
Did
had.
you ever hear anything about Steve? Or yeah, I just so.
So
Anyways,
we are Oasis done.
Oasis, like I know that on my sister allegedly she was talking to this woman online and she got to know Nikki Appleton because back in Yahoo chat days when it first started, a lot of people you would meet celebrities. They
Right.
they would sit there and Kathy didn't know. She Nikki Appleton used to date Noel Gallagher, I think, or one of them, one of the brothers. Anyway, she's like she was part of a all girls group called All Saints. They were real short. I think they had one CD. Never heard anything about it since then. But anyway, so I don't know much about this. I just thought that it was kind of cool that the English bands to me, when I was a kid, I liked American bands. I liked the Grand Funkels from Flint, but it's like my gravitated towards more of the Who and the Rolling Stones, even the Beatles a lot more.
You're a Mick Jagger guy?
Yeah, I see. I never knew how many songs the Rolling Stones did that I liked until one day I was traveling with my brother. He had a compilation tape and he was playing through the system, and I went, "Oh, that's." I said, "That's." He said, "That's also Rolling Stones." I was like 10 songs of this, and I went, "I didn't know that many songs I liked that were from the Rolling Stones because they don't always sound alike." I mean, AC/DC, when you hear them, they sound alike, but
Right.
very similar. The Rolling Stones has a way of changing their intensity or whatever. And I was just impressed by that, and so I'd really become more of a dedicated fan of the Rolling Stones. So, I mean, and the Who. The Who was one of my favorite.
I just
bands.
felt the Beatles were forced on us.
Yeah, it's like kind of. I think and unfortunately, I have to say this. I think they got more interesting after their drug phase started because even the the bubblegum kind of crap. She loves me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's cute for a while, but I mean, they're more introspective stuff. They're like Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Band stuff was great. I mean, I love that stuff. But I don't know. I did mature as songwriters too. Maybe it wasn't just the drugs or anything. It's probably because they had personal turmoil and experiences to bring to the table then. But there are another thing this guy said, the guy who used to be with a metal Motorhead, the man, the lead singer, he passed away. He was got to go really, really scary.
Lenny.
Lenny. He said it was really cool. I never heard of anybody saying this. He goes, everybody was dismissive of the Beatles because they look like they're like just a bunch of burbites and stuff. He goes, actually, if you want to know about it, those guys are from Liverpool. Liverpool is a rough and tumble city. Whereas the guys from Rolling Stones, that everybody thinks are like the hardcore partiers, these guys, the guys from Liverpool probably actually did fisticuffs and actually been involved in more fights than these guys, the Rolling Stones has, because they're from the upper crust families.
Really?
Yeah. Mick Jagger's family. He went to the London School of Economics. He graduated from there.
Right.
Yeah,
I know that he went from a high school.
Yeah.
A very, very prestigious school.
Yeah, so he was upper crust. I mean, or what they call posh, I guess. And so I mean, it was like a kind of persona. I mean, let's face it, though, they created themselves, but I mean, they come from that background. I never thought anybody said it. The Liverpoolians were actually they were. I mean, it's a working class town. It's industrialized like Manchester, where Ozzy was, and also surprising enough, I think it was also where Duran Duran came from. I think it was
I was never big on the bands across the pond. I just never was. I was more, the American bands on this side. Those guys, I just kind of like, yeah, whatever. That's just my honest opinion.
Yeah.
I just didn't like their flavor. I just didn't like that.
But the Rolling Stones, you couldn't help it. They were on every radio station.
Oh, you
When you were a kid, you couldn't.
every time you turn on
You
the
were going to
radio.
hear them,
Yeah,
and you were going to hear the Beatles,
yeah.
and you're going to hear all those bands.
Well, I
How
remember
could you couldn't get away from them?
That's when I went to a that's when I went to a tape player and I went to a cassette player. DVD.
I like the Who so much, and I like
I
Pete
love
Townsend.
the.
I love the Pete Townsend stuff, so
Right.
much. I actually had Empty Glass album. I had on an 8-track tape. I had it on a cassette tape. I've had it on
I
DVD,
mean, how
and
many
I've got an
times did you
upload of it.
watch Tommy?
I've seen it twice, and I've seen it actually once for live performance at the Masonic Temple Theater in Detroit, about 91, 92.
Did you?
Yeah, I actually saw it because I
Did
love
you?
that.
Did you see him live?
No, but I watched the movie.
By the way, if anybody, I'm going to plug it here. If anybody's never heard of it, and I think I've asked you to listen to it. Psychodelic came out in the '90s from Pete Townsend. It's like a radio play. You got to listen to it. It's got some great stuff on it. It's samplings from his stuff, or the Who stuff, and also some original material he created for that CD. But it tells a story. It's really interesting story. It's like, see, that's for Pete Townsend. He's actually very intellectual. He used to work for editing. I think it's Simon Schuster. He's or Farrell or one of the other ones, major
He
publishing
edited
house.
books,
He wrote a book called Horse's Neck.
but he also edited.
Edited them too, yeah. So he was like
Very
really
intelligent.
very intelligent, and the ideas of the rock operas and stuff that he did, Tommy and all that stuff. I mean, and later on, I think you've seen that come out with the Who, Queen,
Right.
yeah, the Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff. Very sophisticated rock and roller, but they were like they brought in like a symphony orchestras and stuff into these. They're amazing. These bands are amazing. They're depth, and they weren't just like three chords. They weren't. They were way beyond that.
And even Led Zeppelin.
Oh yeah, Zeppelin's amazing.
Oh, I did like that.
Yes, he said people try to dismiss it. Well, it's just warmed over blues riffs and stuff like that. Yeah, but listen to the lyrics along with what the music's doing. I mean, the lyrics are going back to the ancient past of England and that world, and Norsemen and stuff like that. I mean, it's great. It's very kind of a maybe dark image, and I think it kind of feeds well to Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, those people had a history to draw from, being from that land. That real estate.
But doesn't everybody have history they can draw from?
Yeah, but it's just they're aware of it. See, most people aren't aware of it.
Not anymore.
Well, no, not now. I mean, Americans aren't. 2 weeks ago, something like long lost memories for most people. I mean, serious. I mean, we're too fast paced. Things come up about we don't.
We're microwave. We're a microwave.
Yeah.
You've only got we know from our videos, you've only got 10 seconds,
Right.
10 to 15 seconds to make an impact to have a hook for somebody to watch your video.
Right. Because
Either piss them off or excite them. That's it.
and we're actually have more pressure if there's creators or whatever on the internet now. We actually have more pressure.
But we're doing this for fun.
Fun, yeah.
We can give a crap if anybody watches our videos.
This is our therapy sessions.
Well, see, we got 13 people listening to us now, so we do welcome you guys. Whoever you are, thank you. But I mean, it's like no, I mean, it's like I think it's I think the creators nowadays they have to put a lot of effort in and they're going to get very little reward because there's so much out there. Look, like we're doing this. Millions of other people are doing something all over the world right now as we do it. So I mean, you're competing with millions instead of like the major networks. Usually had 3 major networks and they put a lot of money to promote their product. Now nobody promotes their product because they don't have the money to do that, and that's what they're hoping to get. So I mean, it's like it's the thing is you get more variety. I think you get much more variety and difference. Change up. I really do. Let's see what somebody's.
But
You want to say something?
Okay, somebody said so they agreed with us. Remakes of movies, those usually suck. So thank you. Yeah, we're glad somebody agrees with us. I mean on that. I mean, but no, I just think that and I think they're going to run out of storylines for movies too. I mean, basically, I mean, how many?
But I mean, it was great. They did The Hobbit and The Lords of the Rings, and they did it right, and then they quit. They didn't try to make
Another one of those.
Or try
to make other storylines other than on TV.
or try to extrapolate.
When you get it right, stop. Right when you get
And
it,
they did.
Right.
Same thing with Games of Thrones.
yeah.
So,
They finished it, and that's it.
so I'm afraid of getting into that. I never watched it, but I've seen excerpts.
Oh,
It looks
it's worth
intense.
it.
It's intense, man. Just I didn't
Game
want
of
to.
Thrones.
Yeah, see, I've never seen it, but I've seen excerpts from it. And it's like the reason why I had to distance myself from it because I'd be too much caught into that world. I mean, like Sopranos. I never wanted to see Sopranos.
That's another. Yeah, they ended it when it was still hot,
Right.
and it was perfect.
Well,
Other than the ending was weird.
Yeah, but I kind of like.
Sopranos? I haven't ever got to see the ending of
Well,
Sopranos.
if you ever want to watch I got all
Well,
on
you'll be
DVD.
severely disappointed.
But if you ever want to see, I didn't have the last series, but the last season. But I got the rest of them going up to the last season on DVD. So if you ever want to,
Sopranos.
Or you can just watch it.
Yeah, right.
watch it
It's
on-
all
yeah.
over the place.
but I have it. It's like they should play excerpts. So they have a lot of cuts on YouTube. But I mean, they did the Many Saints in Newark movie. It didn't do as well as they anticipated.
You know what I've been watching right
Well, I
now?
forgot they did try to do a Sopranos movie.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
It was nobody watched it.
It's like, very few people. They had it live. You could go to the theater. Or you could see it on a pay-per-view situation. And
I never seen it.
yeah,
I never saw
I only
it.
saw excerpts.
It was
of
like a prequel.
prequel. Yeah, it goes to like to see the Christopher Maltasante. He was the nephew of Tony Soprano.
Right.
Maltasante means many saints. So they to put a spin on that. The many saints in Newark and
Right.
the many saints. So it's based upon that branch of the family.
I just never thought he was a great actor.
I mean, Christopher Imperiali or
Yeah.
Michael Imperiali. I thought he was okay. I mean, I thought those guys were probably good actors, but it looked like they were not stretching it because I think a lot of them were born and raised around New Jersey, probably around people who were involved in organized crime. So it's basically like stories about their family. I mean, David Chase one time made a comment.
They all wrote.
Yeah.
Their life.
Well, David Chase one time said that there was a plot going on where Olivia, which was Tony's mother, was getting Uncle June to put a hit on Tony, and David Chase was saying, "That's my mother." That was the way she would act. She was disappointed. She'd probably want you killed. And I remember Gary Samling when he was making a comment about that in his stand-up. He goes, yeah. See, I watched this. He was Jewish. And he goes, no, I watched The Sopranos. He said, my mother was ordered to hit on her son. See, that's the difference between the Italians and the Jewish. He goes, see, the Italian mom's merciful. She wants to get it over with. The Italian mom, the Jewish mom's going to make it last 50, 60 years. But I
It's
mean,
gonna make you die a slow death.
I mean, I really, yeah. So, yeah. Well, yeah. Steve. Hey, Steve. How you doing? Steve Brewer, sign I. So anyway, no, I like The Sopranos. I mean, I didn't want to get into it. My friend got me the first season on DVD, so you got to watch it on a Christmas break. I did, and now I'm hooked. I still watch it.
I've been watching one called Mad Men. Have you ever seen that?
That's the same. It was the same writers of
Sopranos.
Sopranos and Boardwalk Empire or something too.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Boardwalk Empire was a great
Yeah, it's
series.
I watched
And
the
that
one
sort of ended stupid.
yeah. It's like a David Chase, who was
Why don't they ever write a good ending? No one ever writes a good
Oh,
ending.
it's hard to do. But I
Just
kind
let
of
it- I'd rather be a cliffhanger. Try
that's
to give people closure.
see I
You ever watch Jag? You get to the end of it, it's a stupid ending.
But it's the same thing with Lost. I said, man, I'm investing all this time. If I find out that they're dead, I'm going to be so pissed off. And what happened
They're
in the
dead.
last one? They're all, as their bodies are being recovered,
Oh,
like they're realizing that they're dead.
Mm.
oh, shit.
as you say, thing is, I'd like to see them. I don't know if they had they did a movie one time on a book that it was a short story from a guy named Ambrose Bierce. It's called, I think, The Occurrence at Owl Creek. And I don't want to talk about it too much because you got to read it because I was just reading
I'm
the
not going
collection.
to read it.
But it's a really good thing is it's got one of
Especially because you said I got to read it.
it's like it's
You said we should read it.
we should read, but I mean I don't
would
want to
read
go.
it.
But anyway, I was reading along the ending. It was something totally what I never expected. I mean, it was brilliant writing for that. I mean, they didn't have like the build up in a movie or something like that. The music and the way they set the setting and the filming it. It was. I mean, I read it, and just like, holy crap! I didn't see this coming. So if you ever get The Occurrence at Owl Creek, you ever get a chance, it takes place in the era of the Civil War. Because Ambrose Bierce wrote, he was a Civil War veteran who survived a head wound. Later on, he was a journalist and stuff. He was really amazing. He did some great writing, But anyway, it was one of the best buildups I ever seen, So anyway, no, it's too bad about the I just go back to Ozzy.
Ozzy died, and so did Theo Ratliff. Theo died.
Yeah, Michael
Malcolm
Jamal
Jamal.
Warner.
Yeah.
He died young.
Yeah, he was
54 years old.
And yeah, I mean, I never heard a scandal attached to him or
No.
anything. He lived a good life.
He kept his family private. He
Got his money and
went to work, came home, kept his family private.
I mean, I just think it's a sadness. I mean, we're all going to die, but I mean, I don't think 54 is. I think I'd like to see him have another 50 years in life. And
Yeah.
I want to see. I like to see everybody have 100 years if they're living healthily and they can still motivate, move on their own. I'd like to see everybody get 100 years on this planet. I would. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, it'd be cool, mean, the thing is, you learn all the mistake, you can make all your mistakes, you learn. Now you got 50 years to say, oh, I know what to avoid next. But now it's like everything's new. You screw up. Now you got to live through the regrets. And then by the time you get a grasp on life, you're in the grave.
Right.
And that sucks. You know, it really does.
Did you any of you hear or see the press conference
Which one? About
about
Obama?
Obama?
Oh yeah. Do you really think anything's gonna happen to that though? Or
No.
I don't
Nothing's
either.
going to really happen to it, but it's just going to be a lot of fodder lately.
I mean, it's like it's serious, and the way they made it sounds like intensely serious. I mean, they want
It
to.
is serious, but nothing's going to happen.
I guarantee it because I mean, basically it's all theater. I think it's all a show. I mean,
It's the same thing that happened in a way, isn't
With
it?
Clinton.
Yeah.
I look at all the nasty stuff she did, and she got away with it.
Well, it showed what Comey did, where he hid half the crap that Clinton did that she should have went to jail,
right?
right?
If you're
Underneath Comey before Trump was elected, she should have been slammed down before she became the Democratic
nominee,
nominee. And guess what? All that stuff got pushed aside. All that stuff got just erased over here and everything. And it's showing that out. All this stuff is showing out. Tulsi Gabbard just throwing this stuff off in droves. It's showing the paperwork.
so I'm wondering what they're trying to distract us from that might be actually something crucial to us because we know this is all show.
Well, like
It could
like,
be the stuff from the Epstein files.
oh look,
Oh,
you got a
hey,
visitor.
we
we
do.
got a visitor.
Yep.
But the Epstein, that was a distraction for digital currency.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because
Dodgy.
yeah,
They laid the groundwork for digital currency during that time.
yeah. Hey, we do have a visitor. Yeah, I don't know if